snacks.
Ready to roll. Sir Gage.
Ooh, what it do, snackers and snackheads? It's your boy Gage. Jokes, you're in your building.
I'm in my building.
Xbox building.
Hey.
What's going on with that? You snuck that in there. You didn't tell us you were gonna do that. Sin, you are in your respective building, the One Piece building.
Hey, One Piece Central, I'm here.
One Piece building. What's the? Are you like captain of the? What's it? The Going Merry?
Oh, no, the Going Sun.
The what?
What, the Thousand
Going
Sunny?
Sunny.
Going Sunny.
Oh,
You
okay.
just
You're right,
put
Thousand
the
Sunny,
two
you're
of them
right.
together? Is
Yeah,
that
I
what we're doing?
tend to do that. They mean so much. I tend to mix them together. But no, Thousand Sunny.
And you may have noticed that we have a special guest. Please, everyone out there in the land, put your hands together for the incredible Lainey Fenney.
Hi guys.
Lainey,
Hey,
What
how
up?
are you?
Great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Just-
awesome.
Yeah. How are you guys?
You know,
you know,
Hanging in there?
Hanging in there.
here, you know,
yeah,
we're here doing our thing.
absolutely. We're ready to talk about some games. I do want to thank you for jumping in here with us. I know we talked about this a little while ago. We've been trying to get this together for some time, so I thank you for taking the time to
know.
spend a little time in here being silly with us. for a little
I
bit.
feel like we've been talking about this for a while.
Yeah.
And I
absolutely.
haven't seen you guys in like a year probably at this point.
Jeez, it's been a year now?
Yeah,
I don't know
if
it's been a year.
Jeez.
Actually, yeah, it has. What, since the All-Star?
Probably.
Yeah,
It has been
probably,
a
yeah.
year. Gosh.
Probably.
It was like
So
June
it's been about
time.
that.
Yeah.
It's been about that. With
Time
no
flies.
cons having gone on.
Miss you guys.
Miss you
Yeah,
too.
we
Yeah.
miss you too, for sure.
Miss
so
my
let's-
loading snacks.
Please, you know what? For everybody who's here who doesn't know who you are, which most of them are probably here because you're here.
I don't know.
I mean, come on, a little bit. A little bit.
So you so short like that? Come on, man.
Perfect.
Alright, fine.
Perfect terms.
That's you. Not me.
It's so nice. Tell people a little bit about yourself and what you do in the community as far as cosplay and so forth.
I have been cosplaying for I don't even know how long now. I think maybe like 7 years, 8 years. Well, you just went out. Why did my auto just go out? Okay.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I think it's been 8 years. I make costumes. I wear them to cons. I make a bunch of friends, and we have fun. That's what I do.
Dig it.
I mean, isn't it kind of what it's all about? You know
That
what I mean?
is what it's all about.
So people are probably wondering why you're on our show to talk about games, and that is because you do some gaming.
I do some gaming.
Yeah.
We are going to talk about that for sure. Before we talk about that, we're going to talk about some of the news that's been going on over this past week. Even though currently it is blackout week, we are seeing a lot of major corporations, game developers, and so forth that are showing a lot of support for what's happening in the world right now with, the Black Lives Matter movement and so forth. And one of the biggest things that happened this week that's probably, the thing that people may have been the most disappointed about was that there was supposed to be a PlayStation 5 reveal event tomorrow. And Sony 2 days ago ended up deciding to postpone the event just because of what was going on. And to be honest, they were really the first ones I saw do something like this. So there were some things that kind of came out that were rumored to be happening there. And I want to go over one of those things with you guys to see what you think, because there was a Turkish developer that posted that the PlayStation 5 was going to be fully PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 3 backwards compatible, like completely. And So people caught wind of it, of course, and then they hit Reddit, and then it kind of blew up, and then of course they took it down. And it's totally possible that they posted it just ahead of what was supposed to be an event where maybe this was going to be revealed, and then they had to take it down because it got changed. So I guess first and foremost, do any of you think this is true? Like, do you think that the PlayStation 5 will be backwards compatible completely with the PS2 and PS3?
I would say it's really hard to say. Like, they're confused about being PS4 compatible, so it's like you guys trying to go further back on there right now. So I'm a little iffy right now about that.
I'm an Xbox girl.
Yeah, I mean, we are mostly Xbox guys, so
I haven't played PlayStation since PlayStation 2. So,
but here's the thing. But that's kind of why I think this is important, because as a person who hasn't played since PlayStation 2, if you could go back and revisit some of those games from when you were playing PlayStation 2, might that be a reason for you to consider a PlayStation 5?
Definitely.
Maybe not even over an Xbox One X or whatever, but
I would need both. But yeah.
You would need both.
Yeah.
Right? So I think that's really interesting that could be a move. And like, we know that PlayStation does have the ability to play some games that way. You can stream and download some PS2 games. PS3 games, I think, is a thing that's more interesting because they were really unable to get the PlayStation 4 to do PlayStation 3 games just because the architecture for the way the system was built is so different. But man, there is a huge and rabid fan base for those games, and the PlayStation 2 is undeniably one of the most popular systems ever. We all had them. I still have a library.
Same.
And you know, look, they announced the PlayStation Mini, and they did not announce a PlayStation 2 Mini. And if you were gonna do this, instead of announcing a Mini that just had several games on, just be like, you know what? If you have games, or if you can get them, or whatever,
go for it.
You can just play them. I mean, I think that's important because Xbox has been really kind of honking the horn about the new Xbox will play the original Xbox games and the Xbox 360 games and the Xbox One game. You know, your library is all going to work, and it's going to make them all look better and run better and play better and so forth. So, I mean, I think if Sony is actually doing it, that would be a good move.
Most certainly.
Yeah.
Most certainly.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I guess like Crash Bandicoot, and like I played a lot of Tony Hawk on PS2.
Yeah. Which of course they're re-releasing Tony Hawk 1 and 2.
Yeah.
With the majority of the soundtracks, you know what I mean? So you'll be able to buy that for new systems, and then Crash has actually been redone.
Yeah.
So you can buy that on Xbox if you want to do that. So I imagine there will have to be some other things, maybe like Twisted Metal Black or something like that.
Hey, that'd be dope.
You know, some of those older games that might work. But obviously we'll have to wait and see. And I guess the follow-up to that for me really is, how long do you think, all things considered, it's necessary for them to delay this event?
I would say keep an eye on it for the next 2 weeks, see what happens, and then everybody come back to the table, sit down, and make a decision on what's the best time to let it out. Just let everything see how it's going to pan out these next 2 weeks before you make a final decision on it.
I think
give it a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think 2 weeks is a fair time, just to make sure. Because I know at the same time they want to make sure they monitor everything and do this the right way. But at the same time, I know they got deadlines and certain things that they got to make sure they hit. Just any business that, for that matter, is going to be able to do it. But I know they kind of probably still want to get things out there, since this is technically that E3 area that we're in. I know they want to try to get things out around this time because a lot of other developers and people are going to want to start pushing and feeding their stuff out, so they're not going to want to miss this window. Yeah,
I mean, having a big name like PlayStation delay something like this means that there are going to definitely be other developers who can't, like, who have to change their minds. They can't just post what they were going to post to Twitter. I am telling you right now, somebody's going to make a mistake in the next week. Somebody's going to accidentally forget that they scheduled something to post.
Already scheduled.
You know what I mean? And it's gonna post, and the
Especially with all
internet is
these
going
like
to
Summer
go
Game Fest
wild.
and all these different game fests going out and trying to replace E3 and everything.
Mhm.
Somebody will definitely slip up, put out a trailer, or just do something
Yeah,
wrong
Oh
before Sony
well.
has a
yeah.
chance to make their announcement.
Oh well.
A
Oops.
lot of them
But
are
hey.
probably not even handling it themselves. They probably hired a firm to handle that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Probably, it takes one mistake. I have a feeling we are going to get some information we're not supposed to get yet,
Oh, I'm waiting for
like in the
that.
next week. Yeah.
That always
Um,
happens.
I'll be looking for. So on the heels of that, Electronic Arts. I'm gonna highlight this because Electronic Arts has gotten a bad rap over like the last 3 years, 4 years.
That's about right.
Um, you know, mishaps with BioWare, with Mass Effect, with how they've handled the Star Wars license.
Loot
Um,
boxes.
there are currently some people who are upset that EA and the NFL did just re-sign a new deal to keep them exclusive. That kind of hurts a little bit. But EA came out and announced that they were donating like $1 million to Black Lives Matter, which is not a small feat.
At all.
But on top of that, they also announced that they are doing things like actually giving like additional days for their employees, paid days for their employees to go and do volunteer work, which I think is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
The company that I work for does that. When we do Extra Life and stream video games every year, I'm fortunate that I work for a company that actually provides time where if I'm doing charity events, they actually allot an additional 8 hours of pay that they'll give me because I'm doing something charitable. I guess do any of you have something like that where you work?
I haven't looked into it.
I do a lot of charity work, and I actually have to use like all of my PTO vacation time to do all of the charity work. So I haven't taken a vacation in like 6 years because I've been doing so much charity work.
Yeah.
But recently I talked to like the head guy at my company, and he was like, I heard you were Supergirl. And I was like, okay. He was like,
And you were like, true.
Yeah, true. Okay. He was like, I heard you do all these like charity things. So if you ever need like PTO to go do these things, then just let me know. So I guess
That
maybe I
sounds
should
like
have just.
something.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really cool though.
Yeah.
And I think companies should do that. I mean, huge corporations for sure. But I definitely think companies should do that. What about you guys?
I haven't looked into it since I've switched jobs, so I haven't looked back into seeing if they do those type of things. Luckily for me, most of the time, I know if I request it, I can typically get it, but they haven't specifically said, hey, we know you do certain charity things. Here's this extra time that you can use versus using like your same thing, vacation, your personal time off, any of that good stuff.
Yeah.
I don't get that type of stuff. But luckily, the people that I do work for, they will work with me around different things. I've been with them long enough, so they'll finagle some things around or whatever, so I get paid for times off when I'm doing stuff like that. So I don't have it, but they work with me.
It's a good thing, man. I think it's. I guess we should really kind of take a minute to say that, you should look into stuff like that, where you work. For instance, at my job, it's listed as what's called give back time, and like nobody knows what that means. So most people, when they start working there, it's listed. There's like vacation time, and there's unpaid time, and then there's holiday time, and then there's this thing that says give back time 8 hours, and nobody knows what it is. And most people, like I'm not the only person, but I'm one of the only people that uses it regularly. And so often I find myself having to explain to people that no, give back time is not. A lot of people think that it's time that they can, like, let's say somebody runs out of sick time or something like that. They think it's like sick bank kind of donation, something like that. So just, take the time to talk to your HR manager or whoever it is that kind of runs that stuff. Look into it, because your company may actually allow you that kind of time. And depending on the circumstances, sometimes companies will match donations if you're doing donations and things like that. So I just think that that's an important thing to do, and I just think that for EA to step up and do something other than just give money, something like giving your employees additional time shows that it is a long-term effort. It's not just a one and done, hey, we did something, we used a hashtag and we're moving on.
Yeah.
And so I do really, really applaud them. Again, especially for a company that has a tendency to literally get chosen as like the worst company every year. I think that's pretty dope. So I just kind of wanted to highlight that. There were a couple of other companies that were doing similar things. So Humble Bundle, if you are not familiar, is a company that they sell video games for charity. So, or at least that's how they started out, as a company where you could buy like Steam games. You could pick a bundle of a certain number of titles, and you could choose how much you wanted to pay for them, and then choose what charity you wanted the money to go to, and that's how it started. Now it is actually a developer as well, and it's actually owned by IGN. So if you're familiar with IGN, a lot of people don't know that, but it is owned by IGN, and they have decided specifically to donate $1 million to specifically help promote and highlight Black game developers. And so I think that that's just kind of a really cool thing, and it harkens back to what they started their business to do in the first place, which is to be charitable and to help take care of other people and to give people a way to use games and gaming to give back. All right, so the last thing, this is not the last thing, but
don't lie to yourself.
It's never the last thing, is it?
Never. So, Call of Duty. I'm going to start right now by saying I don't really play Call of Duty anymore. I stopped playing Call of Duty a long time. It just kind of got old for me. I don't think either of you play. Lainey, do you play Call of Duty at all?
Okay, so let me just back up real quick. I have a story. I
love the story.
I've been playing video games pretty much my entire life. I don't play them as much as I do right now because of work, and it's too hard. Yeah. But I always wanted to play Call of Duty, and I lived with like 9 guys in college, and they were all like Marines, and of course they all played Call of Duty. And they would never let me play because they were like, "Oh no, you're gonna mess up my whatever."
Like probably your kill death
ratio. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I was like, but I'm good at video games, but they would never let me play. So I have to this day never played Call of Duty. But I heard that you can get you can get it for free. I don't know if it's like on Xbox. You can get
Warzone.
Yeah. Is that not?
It's like the battle royale game.
Yeah, it basically is like
you versus everybody.
You can download it for free. You can play it for free, and it's basically in every person for themselves. So as opposed to playing on teams like you might normally play if you playing with, say, your Marine buddies who wouldn't let you play.
I think something they have 2 different modes. They do have the one everybody for themselves. Then they have like a team of 3 mode versus like the other 60 people with teams of 3s and so on.
Yeah. Yep. It's pretty popular, and I would say, especially since it's free, if you've always wanted to,
I have always wanted to.
Yeah.
But I have this thing where I scream when I play video games. I scream at the screen.
That's perfectly fine. I mean,
so
I don't think you'd be gaming right if you didn't scream at the screen at least once. I mean,
yeah. Usually it's angry screaming at the screen.
Perfectly fine.
But I feel like if I was playing Call of Duty, I'd be terrified screaming.
Yeah, until you get used to it. Then you get used to it, it'll be fun.
You'd be good.
I need to do it.
Do you scream at the TV when you watch TV?
I don't really watch TV.
Okay. Watch movies?
I
don't really watch movies. Well, that explains why you're not playing games as much right now. Like,
No. I don't watch TV because if I'm on the TV, then I'm playing Assassin's Creed. Like, and I'll just play for hours. And I don't really want. I don't like. I'd rather be playing that than watching some. I don't know.
I totally dig it. I'm with that 100%. Call of Duty, I'm just gonna say, has a pretty bad track record of having very, very, very racist moments in
Really?
online specifically. Oh yeah,
I don't know any of this, so this is like okay.
It actually is an unfortunate known quantity that, like, if you're playing Call of Duty online, you're gonna hear it. It's gonna be a thing. And so
you can look up on YouTube of it.
Oh, there's plenty of videos. Oh, plenty of them.
Yeah. But one of the things that, I mean, it's, you know, it's super hard to combat chatter and people talking, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
But one of the things that has been an ongoing problem has been people just creating like racist usernames. And so they have decided to toughen up, crack down a bit more on racist usernames, which I think is a good move. I feel like it shouldn't have taken this long.
I know, really.
For that to be a thing.
Probably not.
But what I'll say is that because of the way Call of Duty works, it has been a rotating set of 3 different developers. So like every year the game that comes out is a different developer, and then they get another game 3 years out. And this is the first year that this is probably the first year in 10 years that they haven't been on that rotation because they've had to make some adjustments. You know what I mean? Like the last game didn't even have a single player. So I think that now is a good time to do it just because of all of what's happening. I hope it's not happening because of what happened. You know what I mean? That like you would hope that it wouldn't take protests, peaceful or rioting or whatever, to get somebody to say, you know, we should probably
maybe we should change this.
Like people, yeah. You know, look, it's also one of those things where, you know, for a long time people wanted to change their names on PlayStation Network and couldn't because the infrastructure wasn't built that way when Sony planned, you know, online. So it wasn't an easy fix, but banning people is pretty easy.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
One little button.
So
pushing a button, go.
I assume. Look, I don't do it, so I assume it's that easy. I don't know if that's what the case is. But look, I think it's a good step in the right direction.
It is.
All right, one more thing.
Good transition.
I appreciate that. I'm a professional. Okay. All right, look. Sega has not made game systems for a long time.
Very long time.
Very long time. Not like real game systems. Like there have been like they did a Genesis, like many, like recently. Never always been like ones by other companies that had like Mega Drive or Genesis games or something like that. And like last week, Sega made a post like, we're about to drop something next week that is going to change video game history. And everybody's like,
oh, what are we doing?
Let me tell you something. I don't know if you saw the rumors, but the rumors were that Sega was going to partner with Xbox. And in Japan, they were going to release the new Xbox as the Sega Series X because Xbox has a terrible track record and name in Japan. And Japanese people love Sega. They still got arcades and stuff like that. So that's what the rumor was. Now I'm just going to tell you I never believed it. Not even a little bit. But what they ended up announcing was that their handheld from 20 years ago?
Sounds about right.
The Game Gear. No, it's way older than 30 years ago.
Nah, it's not. No, it wasn't that long ago.
It wasn't around. Like,
I was around with the Game Gear.
Bro, listen. Your Game Gear was old and used by the time you got it.
My Game Gear was brand new.
No, I don't know. I mean, you.
I don't know what that. I don't know. What
you don't know what a
is.
Game Gear is.
No.
I'm gonna tell. All right, hold on. Did you play Sega? Like when you were a kid, did you play Sega? Were you a Nintendo kid? What's your
And N64 was my jam.
N64? What?
Yeah.
October 6th, 1990s when it
1990.
came
Yeah,
out.
I was just pulling it up too. Yeah, I was around.
I was alive then.
Sir,
I was one.
sir,
No, sir.
1.5 almost.
sir. Your Game Gear was brand new. How I you were one playing a Game Gear?
I was
See, this is what I'm talking about. You you're messing with my history here. So you know what if you know what a Game Boy is,
Hmm.
Game Gear was basically Sega's version of a Game Boy. It was a
Okay.
mini handheld game system that had cartridges that you put in that had versions of games that you could get on their regular consoles like the Sega Genesis or the Master System or something. Mortal Kombat 2 was on there and NBA Jam was on there and Sonic and stuff like that. So they've decided to re-release this as a micro. And when I say it's like literally like the size of the palm of your hand. Like your thumb is bigger than
it's
the
almost
button.
sickening.
The screen is only like 1 inch at all. Like it fits on
like
like
a
a keychain. I don't know how you're supposed to play this thing.
I don't either. Hold on. I'm gonna pull a picture up so the people at
Do you
home can
have-
at least see it.
Like big hands.
Nah.
I do.
Yeah,
I have
yeah,
massive
it's,
hands.
it's not working here. It's not working here.
We did say before we started the show that we were going to end up doing an air high five somehow.
We just did it on accident.
We definitely just made that happen.
All right, so I'm gonna put
while
it up
you
right
do
quick so
that,
people at
I'm
home
gonna-
can see it. Like I'm gonna put
So
it up right
basically,
quick.
what they're doing, they're releasing it in 4 colors. There's a black one, a
Mhm.
blue one, a red one, and a yellow one. Okay. It's $45, and it comes preloaded with several games. Here's the thing: there's only like 5 games on the micro, and each color has different games.
games on it.
I was gonna say that's affordable, but then they did that.
Exactly.
That's not affordable.
So then, so they're like $45 a piece, but then they're selling a kit that comes with all of them for like $250, and I'm like, yeah, but
Nope.
buying them individually is only like $180. Like I don't understand this math. Like something's not right here. But right now they're saying Japan only, so we will see if it comes to the U.S. and what games they put on it and what price they put on it. But the other thing is, if you buy the package that has all 4, they give you a magnifying glass for the screen to make the screen bigger so you can play it.
Okay, I'm not into
I
it.
can't.
I'm not feeling this at all.
First of all, we're all getting older, as we've talked about. We can't see things anymore. Like
Screen, an inch.
we already need glasses. Like, yeah, no.
Yeah, this is like not a good idea. I don't think.
Far from it. This is terrible.
No. Like if I had it, like that would be like it'd be like I just clip it on my belt and I just walk around with it on my belt
It's
just as a little
collector's
attachment.
thing, I think.
I can play
But-
all those on my phone and have a way bigger screen than that.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. You can absolutely get an emulator for your phone and play them
It
all
sounds
on your phone.
it sounds like those, man, none of you are like females though, so you probably didn't have these. It sounded
I
like
don't know.
like back in the day, what were they called? They were like little tiny Walkmans, and they came with like little like
Oh,
yeah,
the little
the
thing, songs
music
and stuff
clip.
in it. I definitely
Yeah.
had 2 of those. I did.
Oh yeah.
No, I definitely had a couple of those.
maybe it wasn't a female
I
thing. I
I
don't,
say Hannah Montana 1 or 2 in my time for sure.
no, I had like Backstreet Boys and Britney Spears, but it's
Yeah,
kind of like that, which is a total waste of money.
yeah, because I feel like they weren't whole albums. I feel like they
No,
were
it was just
One
it was
song.
just the one
It was
song.
one track.
Yeah.
One track.
Yeah. Yeah, they were like, it was called like Hit Clip or something
Hit
like
clips.
that.
Yes.
That's it. Hit clips. That's it.
So
Yeah.
terrible.
How did you remember that?
He knows. He knows everything.
He knows things for no
Like,
reason
yeah,
at all.
Yeah, just get used to it.
True. All right, listen. Two things. One, in my defense, I have all my children are girls.
You do have daughters,
Yeah, I know that.
Two,
but they're not old enough
I
to have that.
love music. Sure, I mean, my oldest is 21.
Oh.
So, you know what I mean? Like,
No.
Oh damn.
but I
That's too
also
young.
love music, and so like I was always into like strength. I'm a guy that had like a mini disc player in my car. Like I took it out of multiple cars and put it back in. You can speak to this, can't you?
Yeah, that's
So-
facts.
I love music and different music formats, and I was always into stuff like that. So yeah, Hit Clips. Thanks for
Hit clips.
making me feel old.
Yeah. Well, that's what this sounds like. Is like a hit clips for video games.
Almost, just
Almost.
maybe less hits. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like I don't know.
But
this
now-
feels-
But now that we're talking about it, I kind of want one.
a Hit Clip or a Game Gear.
A Game Gear.
I mean, look, it would kind of be a cool novelty, but I don't know if a $45 novelty.
No.
No.
Not that
I don't know.
I'll go find my game. I think it's in the other room, and just
Mm-hmm.
I'll put all 8 AA batteries in it and plug in whatever game it is that I have for it.
I'd probably lose it.
They pitch it
Yeah.
like, oh, this would be a revolutionary game changing thing.
I'm hoping that
Well,
truly
exciting.
isn't what the announcement. Maybe that was just like the little deceiving thing, because I'm
No.
sure it is. But it's like,
You know,
what are you thinking, Sega?
I mean, they were thinking it was a big. Hey, listen, the truth of the matter is, again, it's right now it's Japan only.
Japan
and
only.
It's
It
probably
makes
a
sense.
bigger deal there than it would be here.
Thanks.
People probably
If they
lost
decide
it.
to
Yeah,
do
we're
something like
gonna
that
show
here,
them
they
the
better increase the fire. It needs to be hotter than that. Let's go with that.
Bigger than that.
All right, check this out. That pretty much does it for the news portion of the show. I just want to have a little fun now. Let's talk about games. Lainey, you said N64. Was that your first console?
Yeah, my pap had Sega, so I would like play that, but really N64 I think was probably, I mean, I was like, I didn't have any friends in school, elementary school, middle school, high school, no friends.
Not at all.
So no, maybe like one or two, like my neighbors that I grew up with. But
Yeah.
all we would do would be like to sit in my parents' basement and play N64. And that's all I did. Like,
What did you play?
oh man, Mario 64, Mario Kart, 007. I don't know, everything that everybody played. I still have my N64. I still play it, even
Same
though
here.
there's like those thing, I don't know what they're called, the things where you can like play them from your Xbox, I guess. The
Oh, the
games.
emulators.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah,
But I
or
still
like,
just- I still like blow in the cartridge and like use my
Do you-
N64.
Mm.
Yeah,
you still have all your original games? Like from
Yeah.
when you were little? Do you?
yeah. I wasn't little that long ago. Okay.
I mean, okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
Not everybody holds on to that kind of stuff. But
I know. I still have them.
You have all your controllers. Did you have 4 controllers?
I have 4 controllers. Yeah, and I still
What colors?
I have a blue, a see-through purple,
I had one of those.
through black, and a gray one.
Gotta have a great
Yeah.
one. Came with it.
Great, yeah. The gray one's a little sticky though. It has like loading snacks in it or something,
Or non.
Yep, I believe that. I
or
believe that.
non-loading
You know,
snacks.
when you're a kid playing that 64, you
You
don't know
ain't
not
really
to
care.
do while you're playing.
Cheese
While you're
curd
playing
dust
GoldenEye?
everywhere.
That's not the way. Okay, so then you still have that.
Uh-huh.
What was after that? What was the next
Uh,
console?
PlayStation, I don't know, 1 or 2. I guess 1 I had, but then I had 2. But I played more PlayStation 2 than 1. I got really into like DDR and like
Oh shoot!
weird things like
Ready to
that.
throw down?
Yeah.
Alright, so did you have a mat?
I did, yeah. 2. I had 2 mats so I could battle.
Ooh, Oh, you serious?
Oh, she was ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you one of the DDR kids that can dance on both mats?
So I was
Okay.
like,
Okay.
like
Okay.
expert. Yeah, definitely expert level. But every time I go to MagFest, I try to play like the DDR, the big things that
Yeah.
they have there, and I'm really bad at it. And you guys know Marvin. He's like
Yep.
this tall. Like
Yep.
I exercise all the time. Not to hate on Marvin, but he doesn't exercise a lot, and he's over there like blowing me
Killing
away.
it.
And I'm like, what are you doing?
How are you
Like,
doing this? It's song choice. You got to make sure you pick the song. Don't let him pick the song.
yeah, I guess so.
You know what I mean?
I got really
How
into
do you-
Guitar Hero for a long time too.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
I
all
believe
me,
that.
Guitar Hero. Oh,
Guitar Hero.
So here's the thing, because I never really managed to get into DDR. I bought. There was like a Disney Mickey Mouse DDR. That
That
had
was
like
cool.
its own mat and had like Disney songs and whatever, and like I bought it, for my daughter or whatever. But
Yeah.
I never managed to get into it.
Mm-hmm.
How did DDR become a thing for you? Like, were you seeing it in arcades? Like,
Yeah, so I used to skateboard back when I was like a teenage boy, I guess. I used to
you in like an
skateboard.
Avril Lavigne?
Yes,
or something?
yeah,
Is that
yes,
okay?
yes,
All right,
yes.
that's cool.
I used to
Skateboard.
skateboard, and they had like a Vans indoor skate park in my mall at Potomac Mills, and they had like one of the big DDR things there. So I would like skate with the boys, and then we would go play DDR, and I guess
Yeah.
that's how I got into it. But
Were you like kicking their butts at DDR?
of course, yeah,
Hey.
but also kicking their butts at Mario Kart. So
Ooh.
Ah. Okay. Were you also out skating them?
probably not. I probably look like a
you had a
fool on
great
the skateboard.
You know what I mean? Like,
No, definitely not.
I can't out skate you. Let's go jump on the Mario Kart sticks though.
Yeah, yeah.
Fair thing. All right. So since we're on the subject of DDR and Guitar Hero, Jokes, I know you are a huge Guitar Hero fan.
Huge Guitar Hero fan.
All right. I'm going to put you on the spot. What's the best Guitar Hero?
Guitar Hero 3.
3 is the best one.
Mostly because of the fact.
Uh-oh.
I know. Here's my thing. 2 was my favorite. What happened
Okay.
was 3 managed to take all the tracks. Was the first one that took all the tracks and still put them under one roof. When they went
Right.
from 1 to 2,
moved
they
it
didn't do
over.
that. Then when they got
Yeah,
to that,
Hold on. If I remember correctly, Guitar Hero 1, even though it had good music, a lot of them were like covers.
they were
weren't
covers.
The,
they
they
weren't
didn't
the
get
originals. No, they were not the
license
originals.
Yeah.
They didn't get those until 2.
2. Mhm.
And so then after 2, when they moved to 3, that was when they started to let you like move your library with you. I think.
I wouldn't say move. They just had a lot of. They started coming out as DLC more than anything else, but some of it was
Yeah.
free. Then when they hit after that, I think it was World Tour. I think it was what it was afterwards. That one just pretty much just came packed with like everything. At that point, that was like when they introduced the drum kit and all that stuff into it.
I was gonna say, how do you feel about Guitar Hero versus Rock Band?
I
Yeah.
prefer Guitar Hero to Rock Band.
Me too.
Like it was
I hate Rock
something.
Band.
The
Hate
guitar,
it though?
the
Why
guitar
do
for
you
the
hate
most. I don't know.
Rock
I didn't hate it. But
Because I'm not good at the singing. I'm not good at the drumming. I'm not good at anything other than guitar. So like,
So
May
you
as well
just
just
use
play
the
guitar.
guitar. It's
I don't know.
It's playing with friends.
Guitar Hero had better
Someone with a
songs.
guitar.
Guitar Hero had better songs.
I could
and that's
okay.
true. And then Rock Band had to start copying songs. That was the funny part.
Yeah.
They started having songs.
Yep.
Yeah. Then they started doing like the very specific, like for specific bands, you know what I
Yep.
mean, and stuff like
Mhm.
that. All right. Best Guitar Hero song. Throw it out. What is it?
Would you say just as a song or like something that like I got good at that I
Yeah.
wanted to play?
All right. Well, I mean, I would imagine that the best one to you is probably the one that you're good at.
I
One
mean-
you can smash on next.
No, that's not true. There was some like on Guitar Hero 2. There was some like crazy metal, like
Through the
I'm
Fire
an
and
expert.
Flames. I managed to get like halfway through that on expert. That one took practice. Like I played
Yeah.
the one song for like a good couple of hours. Then Freebird. Freebird was one of those that got super hard when you put it on.
But
expert.
it's like 7 minutes long, and then your fingers start cramping up.
That's just it. The endurance piece of it. The beginning part was slow and mellow.
Like a real guitar. You know what I mean? Like if you're playing, you play guitar all night.
Whoa. It's like playing a real guitar.
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
I thought you said it's not like playing a real guitar.
I'm saying it is. Like playing a real guitar.
Oh,
In a band, doing a show.
Yeah.
You know,
but
7 minutes is.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Light.
But Through the Fire and Flames was one of my favorite tracks.
Okay.
And it actually brought me into actually listening to Dragon Force afterwards. But I tell you, I bodied it on hard. Like I could play Through the Fire and Flames on hard, no problem. Expert, I can get halfway through it, and then it just became
beat you up.
Stupid. It just beat me up. So I took the time, went into practice mode. Yo, I slowed the song all the way down. So in the practice mode, you could slow it down so you could try to get the buttons. Slowed it down. Like, yeah, I got this. Let me crank it up a little bit. Yeah, I got this. Let me crank it up a little bit more. No.
Don't got it.
Don't got it.
It's like, nah. We can't do this.
But
wait, what was the hardest song on Guitar Hero 3? On Guitar Hero 2? There was one song where I couldn't do it at all. I did all of them on expert, and there was one that I couldn't do. I can't remember which one it was now. But I used to call my
Through the Fire and Flames, if I'm not mistaken, was the very last track on Guitar Hero 2.
I don't remember what it was. But I cheated, and I would call my friend Antoine over, and I'd be like, because he actually played guitar, and he'd be all like, and I would call him over, and I'd be like, Antoine,
hey, I just need you to beat this. And so
I just need you to beat one song for me. And he did it.
Is that an emergency call? How does it?
That's a lifeline.
Phone a friend, please.
That is a lifeline.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, is that where we are? All right, now then, you know where I'm getting ready to go with this. Is there any Creed in Guitar Hero?
I believe there was one Creed track. Laney wouldn't understand why you're asking that question, but it's
not the point.
I know the two of y'all just want leaning on this one. They had like one track.
Did you say Creed?
Yeah, Creed.
Could you play it on expert?
Why Creed?
Pretty sure I got. Damn, even she's
Creed.
Hey, I'm a fan of Creed.
Because he loves Creed.
Who's a fan? You're a fan of Creed.
Creed. Why? What is it with? Hey, I'm gonna dig my own grave. I don't care.
We can't be friends.
Oh man.
Oh no,
man. That's a running joke for us, Laney. Like we just,
That's been a joke now for how many years now? I would say how many extra lives have we done? How many extra lives have we done?
4.
Whenever we started Extra Life, I think that was when it occurred.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was only like one track on there for them. But I started they started adding like how you said that. See,
look.
But you know the reason. You know how I got into Creed though, don't you, Gage?
Nah, I don't know anything about it.
No,
you probably told me to probably
look at his shirt. Look at his
Thank
shirt.
you. Hey.
Oh yeah.
I got Will in the chat. He's like, I like Creed too, but I got into it. Yeah, Will Banks.
I mean, all right.
But they used WWE back in the day when they used to put those like the fire promos together. They used Creed in a lot of their promos that they did, and that was really the main reason I got hooked on Creed. Was through, well, I should say WWE. Hey, look at that! Yeah,
there we go.
Was through WWF.
Right
sitting on John Cena.
That's that.
But that's how I got. I'm surprised. Sin they even had Creed had a packet. They had one for Triple H. One of those returns he did. He had a Creed song on there.
Right. Yeah.
Well. I think we need to get you on some better music, maybe.
Oh no, I
mean, he knows some stuff, but
Creed is just one of those that you like, but yeah. But then when they started adding Disturbed,
how many
Linkin
System
Park,
of a Down tracks are on Guitar Hero?
Quite a few because they had their own pack, like System of a Down, Linkin Park, Disturbed.
Let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm coming to your house. Give me the mic.
Well,
We'll
first
do
things
that.
first, I have to find my guitar.
You know you got all that plastic somewhere.
I
Lane,
got
do you
them.
still have?
I still have one. Yeah.
Do you?
I think one. I don't know. They're all over the place.
I still have my PS2. Apparently, I keep things that people.
Oh
don't
no,
keep.
I have all my consoles. I have all those. It's just
Okay.
some said accessories.
So I have a 360, and
Yeah.
but because I play I don't know, I'll play my old Fable games or old
that's
Assassins or whatever. But I'll have it in the background and I'll take a selfie or something in the mirror, and people always comment on it and they're like, "Ew, why do you have that thing?"
Hey, I literally have my 360 right here, within grabbing distance. I had the Halo Special Edition, the 360 Slim. I literally have that joint just sitting over. I refuse to give that one up because that was probably the best looking 360 that they had released.
Do you, Lainey? Do you have a favorite console of all time?
Xbox. No.
Is it
My man.
uh-oh.
Anthony dropped in the chat. I'm pretty sure this is the WWF one that had the Creed track to
Lord.
it.
Here we go. Going back to Creed.
Yeah, it's now you're not gonna be able to get away from it.
No way.
I bet you never
No.
seen when we actually
It is
come on a
that.
video game chat with us. We be talking about Creed.
No.
How much?
Hey, we
Sure,
all
you
over
didn't
the
see that
place.
coming.
I'm gonna make you a Creed poster next time.
I don't need it now, but you know what?
I'm gonna,
because you'll make
hide it.
I'll take it.
Your cosplay is amazing. What you saying?
Cosplay as the lead singer.
That's what jokes need to do.
Yeah, go ahead.
You just
Listen,
come
Joe,
to
show up one time with the open shirt.
His arms not open.
I ain't
Kill.
gonna- I ain't gonna have an open
Man,
shirt.
we're gonna have a problem.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Maybe I will let you get away with that at MagFest if you bring your Guitar Hero stuff with you.
Yeah, you have to
And you gotta play Creed. You gotta do it.
I won't be
It
there
has
for
to be
that.
the whole
That
thing.
was video so fast.
Right.
Perfectly fine.
Uh-huh.
Man, listen. Sin, did you ever get into you got in a rock band? Did you get or did you
Rock band was what I got into. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was the drummer in the squad.
I'm gonna
Do you guys ever play Rock Band at MagFest? How they have it up on the big projector screen thing?
This was strictly
No.
in-house and drunk. This was strictly that mode.
Oh, okay.
I mean I
Gotcha.
stand behind them to sing along.
Yeah, I've hopped on for
I'll play.
one song and then hopped off.
Okay, so I played. Oh, I guess it was the last time we went to, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I got this. Give me the guitar. It'll be fine. I'm really good at Guitar Hero, guys." And then I get up there and because you can't really hear the song because it's so
Yeah,
loud in there, and it's it's terrible playing it, and I pretty much made everybody fail, and I was like, "Well, this is embarrassing."
Sorry.
Sorry. It used to be
Fine.
good a couple of years ago, I guess.
I'm sure you're still good if you can actually hear it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I wouldn't
Yeah.
worry about it. Sin, did you ever get into DDR? I would probably know this, I feel like, but
No. You know the answer to that. No. You did know the answer.
yeah. I did.
Also, but you can play DDR with a controller too.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
I mean,
just
listen,
that
I'm
just
not saying
defeats
I
the
didn't try it.
purpose.
Playing
Hey.
DDR with a controller was almost here's the thing. I tried to convince myself that playing DDR with a controller would be like playing PaRapper, the rapper, with a controller. Because it's the same principle, right? Just hit the arrows, you know what I mean, and so forth with the timing, and that's it. But it's not the same. And I'm going to tell you that DDR takes a different level of rhythm. It's not
oh nice.
it's not when I watch people do it, it's the timing is so perfect and it's so rhythmic. But I don't have that. I got
Yeah.
rhythm. I don't have that.
rhythm, but
I was gonna say.
I don't have that.
The DDR rhythm.
I got supreme rhythm until I try to play DDR, and it's just nah. I don't think my feet are supposed to move this way, so I'm not.
Not doing it.
Yeah, it's like then I see people who like put their own twist on it. Like you see people at like MagFest or something like that, and they put like it's like they're breakdancing and stuff like that, and they're like getting down and tapping stuff with their hands. And I'm like, yeah,
how? What do you?
That's
that's
showing
not
off.
the full contact, full
Showing
body
off.
experience I'm looking for in my game. That's just not. Just not.
I'm more of an RPGer like nowadays. I'm too old for
Yeah.
that. I think too old for that DDR stuff.
Is that why you're drawn to Assassin's Creed?
Yeah, and I like that you get to creepily sneak up behind people and kill them.
Hey, I'm perfectly fine.
No, I like
Yeah.
that it's like like history. It's like a history lesson essentially. I mean,
Facts.
I'm
Yeah.
playing Odyssey right now, and I'm trying to viciously hurry up and finish it because Valhalla is coming out.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make the run through them. Like I just went back and I just beat 2 Brotherhood. I'm finishing up Revelations again. I'm just trying to run through them again.
I don't know how you have time to do this though. Like I'm only at like level 40, and I've been playing for months. Like, how is this the
Hey, let
thing?
me ask you a question. Do you decrease the difficulty?
Okay.
Listen.
Hey, it's no.
I'm just-
Hey,
No.
I'm
It's a real
asking
question.
that because truthfully, as working adults who have played
Yeah.
video games our entire lives, I have personally had to get to a place where mentally I could get past my own
Yeah.
issues with like putting the level down.
I was about to say that.
Because I don't have
Yeah.
I don't have time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's work and kids and this, you know what I mean,
So-
or whatever. And like I don't have time, and I
That's-
really want to experience the story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
The gameplay,
Right.
and so
I started
the
out
opposite.
playing. What?
I'm not.
I started out playing Odyssey on hard, and I was like, oh, I got this. And then like level like 15 or something, I was like, I was getting like angry. Like I couldn't go to bed at nighttime. I was staying up till like 4 o'clock in the morning. Like it was like ruining my mental health. So,
yeah, it's not
So
good for you. That's the thing. That's like the complete opposite of what games are supposed to be.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're supposed to be
It's supposed to be like
an escape.
relaxing. Yeah.
Yeah, from reality. So like like if you're not and you're struggling,
Yeah.
drop the difficulty.
Dropped it.
Like
Yeah, I
just
did. I did that.
You got to get past that shame.
Just for the story.
Yeah.
Just for the story.
I do
Like,
that all the time too. Like
yeah.
trying to get through it, or like at this point, my backlog. I have so many games in my backlog that I just need to try to get back to and finish, complete, or whatever, that I'll never get through it if I try to play them on the hardest difficulty, or if I'm constantly restarting, or especially if it's a game that like isn't good about how it treats you when it's time to load. Like I have issues with games that don't respect my time because my time is so much more precious now. You know what I mean? So like if I'm playing something and I get a certain distance through something, and if I die, not only do I have to wait for it to load,
Mhm.
especially if it's slow, but then I'm like all the way back. Like I don't have that. I can't do that. I don't have that kind of time.
Well, how do you feel about the Assassin's Creed loading time? I feel like it's way too long.
It is.
Honestly, it is.
However,
Like I could eat a whole bag of chips in that time.
they at least give you something to do, like run around or something while you're waiting for it to load.
Oh, they
But
give you like
sometimes it does start to feel like I've been running around for a really long time.
yeah.
Honestly, he just sits there with the loading screen, just watching the bar go past slowly. Like,
Yeah, but I just get angry. I get so angry. I shouldn't play video games.
Nah, that means the anger probably exists already in some capacity. It's probably better that you're taking it out playing
Take it
games
out with video games. Yeah.
than not, you know what I mean, playing games. That is, I will say, one of the things that it seems minute, but it actually is one of the things about the new systems coming out, how much they're talking about it removing almost loading times completely. But I just feel like, I mean, it does scare me in a sense that they're just going to make games bigger. You know what I mean? Like they're going to take longer because the world's going to be bigger and whatever, and so I'm still not going to have time. But at least if it feels like it respects my time. Right now, probably the game that I feel like respects my time the least is Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto 5. Loading into that game
is horrible.
just
Horrible.
it takes so long, and it's like, here's the thing: love Rockstar as a developer. They make these incredible worlds with all these details and all this stuff going on and whatever. And you would think, at least implement the radio stations, so that when it's loading,
You got the
I can at
radio
least be
playing
listening
in the
to music or
background.
something, instead of just like looking at the sky. You know what I mean? Like the clouds going by or something like that. You know, like hook me up, help me out a little bit. So listen, let's do this. Because we're gonna say the most expert person in the room when it comes to cosplay. Because I don't, right? Do you have like a dream Assassin's Creed like cosplay, or would you make something like if you were going to star in an Assassin's Creed? We actually did this like a few shows ago. Like if you were going to star in Assassin's Creed, like where would it take place?
Mm-hmm.
And what time frame would it take place in?
Oh God.
And
Wait, are you asking me about the cosplay, or are you asking me about this?
both? Because I want both. Because I feel like you would also then create something around it. But like where would you?
So, no, so yeah, it is, because I actually haven't thought of like. I think the pirate Assassin's Creed was like, because I am like
Black
super
Flag?
obsessed with Black Flag. I'm super obsessed with pirates, and I was like, oh, they should always make a pirate themed thing. So they already did that. So not an interesting answer, but before I started cosplaying, I loved Assassin's Creed, and I was like, I really want to cosplay as these guys. So I like met some girls that used to cosplay, and they were like, oh, we'll make you, we'll do a whole group. We'll do like, you know, all the different guys. So we went to this Joann's Fabrics. I spent like $250 on like fabric, and I was going to be the Black Flag assassin.
Yeah.
And we never did it. And the fabric is still sitting in the trunk of my car.
What? Like,
It's like we stopped being friends. Something happened. They stopped cosplaying, and then like I don't know. I think Jessica Negri did that cosplay, and I was like, well, not gonna do that, I guess.
oh come on, it'd be fine. They posted. They post
I don't know. I
body all the time. You could.
This is true, but I think I'm gonna do a Valhalla one, because I don't know.
That could be
blondes.
pretty dope.
I don't have a beard, but you know.
You can make a beard.
You could make a beard, but you can.
There's a
in the game,
female.
you can be a female. Yeah.
Yeah, in the game. Yeah.
As a matter of fact, the collectible that comes with it is the female character.
one.
Yeah,
I can't think of the name.
I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, I think that would be cool. I think that'd be pretty dope. So you think pirates? That's your favorite? Is that your favorite time period, history wise?
I don't know. I liked all of them. I really like Odyssey. It's a good. I think Valhalla will probably be my favorite.
I was like, hey, and then my friend, just speaking of that, so Will just asked, it's like they should do a Viking Age. I was like, hey Will, have you not seen the trailer for Valhalla yet, my friend?
Clearly.
I'm gonna need you to go watch the trailer for Valhalla as soon as we finish this.
Please.
Yeah.
Yeah. So look, we're getting ready to wind down, but I do want to take a minute to make sure that we acknowledge everybody who's in the comments. You guys take a look at who's in there and what we're talking about. I just want to make sure we didn't miss anything too significant before we wrap up. And while you're looking at that, what you got?
Tony said, I bet London is witnessed, to my DDR, witnessed, but Asians in Japan, for example, are like DDR experts. And I'm talking all ages, like even the 60-year-olds. Yeah,
That's all facts.
I'm getting busy out there. No, I'm not messing with them. Not even a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Nah, that's a stand back and admire kind of thing.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there was some taboo around it at one point, but like, I don't know, man. When you watch like the experts in the arcade,
It's crazy.
that bust a sweat, like to get
Dog,
sweaty.
full blown, like they didn't went out on
Alright.
a basketball court. And, like,
By next MagFest.
For leverage?
By next MagFest.
By next
Hold on.
MagFest, we're all gonna do a DDR battle, so you better brush up on your DDR skills.
Whoa. All right. So here's where I'm at.
Listen, you're gonna do it. You're just gonna do it.
I will first of all, it's hard for me to turn down a battle, so sure. Sure. I'm gonna lose, and that's cool.
What if you don't? What if you don't though?
Against you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been years, but
yeah.
And then we could do Mario Kart.
Actually, go practice. Like
yeah,
like, I'm not digging it. Like if you said, I don't even know if you know what Samba de Amigo is. Like if you wanted to play maracas, we could do that.
Wait, okay. All right, we'll do Mario Kart as long as I could be Yoshi, and I'll still win. I'll beat all of you.
I'm a Luigi guy anyway.
All
right. That's weird.
Luigi. Yeah. What can you possibly have against Luigi?
Everything. I don't like him.
Man.
He's like weird, skinny little head. I don't like him.
All right.
Fair, I guess.
But, you know, I mean, here's the thing. It's not like you can really argue with it. It's just kind of like, all right, you know.
Yeah, he does. Cool. I don't like him.
He does.
He's creepy.
He does, but he's underappreciated.
Creepy. Go look at him, and then you'll be like, oh yeah, he's creepy looking.
Nah, he is. Like, have you seen all the like memes like from Mario, from like the most recent Mario Kart, where he's got like the creepy eyes, and faces? Like, nah, there's no doubt about it. Nah, in real life, Luigi would probably be a creep.
Yes.
That's probably, you know, it's probably because the princess don't pay him no mind. He just stuck creeping. Like it's
Luigi and Wario would be the two creeps.
You don't think Waluigi's a creep?
Oh yeah.
Waluigi certainly a creep. Look at that mustache. Got the mustache to go.
I was thinking more like N64 Mario Kart. Waluigi wasn't in there.
Okay, sure.
Waluigi.
Yeah, that's okay. Facts with that. All right, listen, we're gonna wrap this up. So I need to make sure that I take a moment to say thank you to Lainey. I greatly appreciate you joining us.
Thanks for having me, guys. I did have a great time.
For sure. We will do this again, and next time we'll talk comics and stuff like that.
Sure.
On the next go round, we'll do something a little different. So thank you for doing that. Thank you to everybody who is watching and commenting, tuning in. Greatly appreciate you guys. We have some things coming up. Of course, we were going to live stream tomorrow for the PlayStation event. That isn't happening.
It's not happening
anymore. But just keep your eyes open. There's some new things coming down the pipeline. We're revamping Patreon because kind of having to do things different because of the way we're having to do things currently. And we are going to be doing our Being Comfortable Being a Geek panel monthly now, and the first one is going to happen next Saturday. So
with our guest who is in the comments.
Mm-hmm.
Hawk is in the comments.
Yeah, jumped in.
My man, the incredible Hawk. And so Kevin Hawk of Transcendent Events fame will be joining us for that panel, and it's just going to be a good chance for us to. That panel is really all about just talking about our journeys as geeks, growing up that way, and really getting to a place of being able to be comfortable with that nerd/geek life and so forth. So we'll be talking about that. Hawk, I'll be reaching out to you shortly. With that, we're going to close the show. We love you all. We're out. Toodles and lose. What it do, snackers and snackettes? Did you like what you just saw? Would you like to help us grow? Here's what you can do. Shoot over to patreon.com/loading snacks. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe on your favorite platform of choice. Appreciate you.